play this or that. We just gave this a name. And I don't ask everyone the same question. Some of them I do, because there's the one that you always got to ask everybody. Okay, Beatles or Stones?
Beatles. Stones.
Boom. How about Sammy or Dave?
Well, Sammy, let me tell you. I mean, how could anyone answer any different?
Under these circumstances.
No, I mean, come on.
Boy,
You're the guy.
Yeah, right. Okay, here. Oh, hey, this is for you.
Okay.
Drums or guitar?
Drums.
Oh, guitar. What the hell are you doing playing guitar?
Huh?
What are you doing playing guitar?
I got fucking bills to pay, man. Come on.
You said, these drummers didn't just play beats, they shook the world. Find out who Dave Grohl and Taylor Hawkins worship. Dave Grohl walks into the studio with a spark behind his eyes that immediately electrifies the room. He sits across from Taylor Hawkins, whose grin alone could ignite the air, tapping his foot like a drum pedal that refuses to stop. The atmosphere hums with energy, a storm of rhythm, memory, and raw rock and roll electricity waiting to explode. Dave leans forward, voice thick with passion, saying that talking about drummers feels like diving into the furnace that forged him, where every beat carries history, emotion, and fire. Taylor nods, adding that the greatest drummers aren't just musicians, they're forces of nature, storms that reshape everything around them. The conversation kicks off with John Bonham, and Dave's demeanor shifts instantly. He describes Bonham as thunder in human form, a drummer who didn't just play songs but summoned earthquakes. Taylor laughs, remembering the first time he heard Bonham, saying the sound shook his entire world. Dave explains that Bonham could take a simple groove and make it feel monumental. Taylor adds that Bonham taught him fearless drumming, turning rhythm into a living, breathing force. Their excitement spills into mimicry of iconic fills, laughter, and shared joy at remembering a legend who defined rock drumming. Then Dave's tone deepens as he brings up Neil Peart. Dave says Peart wasn't just precise. He was a storyteller, building entire worlds with every hand movement. Taylor closes his eyes, recalling the first time he heard Peart, feeling like he witnessed a mechanical genius fused with poetry. Dave says Peart made complexity feel soulful, emotional, and human. Taylor adds that Peart proved technique could touch hearts, teaching that precision and passion can coexist in every note. The two sit quietly for a moment, letting the weight of Peart's genius sink in. The energy shifts as Dave talks about Stuart Copeland. His hands move like he's channeling Copeland's electricity, describing each hit as sharp, unpredictable, and mesmerizing. Taylor laughs, recalling how Copeland changed the way he heard rhythm forever, showing that angular drumming could be hypnotic and beautiful. Dave emphasizes the elegance in Copeland's chaos, while Taylor adds that those crisp, precise beats sparked a new understanding of rhythm. Next, Dave dives into Dave Lombardo, praising his speed, ferocity, and the sheer force that reshaped metal drumming. Taylor leans forward, practically vibrating, saying Lombardo played as if the drums were on fire. Dave explains that Lombardo turned chaos into craft, inspiring generations to embrace controlled madness. Taylor recalls the first Slayer track he heard, feeling like the drum kit was trying to escape the speakers. Their laughter fills the room as they discuss what makes a drummer unforgettable. Dave says skill is essential, but soul is what creates legends. Taylor nods, adding that each drummer leaves their heartbeat on the kit, and audiences can feel it. Dave explains that watching a drummer connected to something bigger is like witnessing lightning in slow motion. Taylor adds that the best drummers turn every strike into tension, emotion, and release. Dave opens up about nights of doubt and struggle, saying insecurity shadows every musician at times. Taylor responds honestly, noting that fear accompanies passion, but it can fuel greatness. Dave adds that legends overcome fear by refusing to stop. Taylor nods, saying that passion transforms fear into fire. Their laughter returns as Taylor recalls banging on pots and pans as a child. Dave admits he did the same, calling it the spark that ignited his destiny. Taylor says obsession separates dreamers from doers, and Dave agrees that the fire inside young drummers never dies, evolves, grows, and shapes the artists they become. As they near the end of the conversation, Dave reflects quietly on how every drummer they admired carved history with authenticity. Taylor adds that authenticity is the soul of legacy. Dave says those legends remind him to stay hungry, to chase something bigger, to never settle. Taylor says their influence lives in every beat he has ever played and will continue to play. The room feels alive with respect, memory, and untamed energy, the kind only Dave Grohl and Taylor Hawkins can create. Every word, gesture, and laugh resonates like a drum beat echoing through time, making viewers feel like part of the conversation, part of rock history, and part of a living tribute to the drummers who shaped their lives and the world of music forever. They speak of heroes like Keith Moon and Phil Collins, each story adding layers of admiration, technique, and inspiration. They laugh, recall, and gesture, bringing each legend to life with such vividness that viewers can almost hear the drumsticks hitting the skins, smell the sweat of the stage, and feel the vibration of every iconic performance. Dave talks about the nights he felt small in front of heroes, the moments he almost gave up, and Taylor shares the vulnerability of learning from legends while discovering his own voice. Their authenticity pulls viewers in, making it impossible to look away. From early childhood obsessions to sold-out arenas, every anecdote, every reflection, and every burst of laughter paints a picture of drummers as more than musicians. They are storytellers, poets, and architects of emotion. The discussion flows effortlessly between high-energy anecdotes and quiet, reflective moments, creating a cinematic rhythm that mirrors the drumming itself. By the end, viewers feel they've been transported into a world where the power, passion, and soul of drummers aren't just admired, they are felt, lived, and celebrated. Taylor Hawkins leans back, spinning a drumstick between his fingers, eyes gleaming with the kind of mischief only a lifelong drummer can carry. He says that drummers carry their heroes inside their veins, a rhythm inherited from the legends who came before. Dave Grohl nods, voice full of nostalgia, saying that every drummer is a walking echo of the giants who shaped music history. Taylor laughs, saying that you can always feel the fingerprints of your heroes on your own beats, like invisible mentors guiding every strike. The conversation sparks to Keith Moon, and instantly the room vibrates with raw energy. Taylor says Moon didn't just play the drums. He detonated them, creating chaos with every hit. Dave laughs, recalling Moon's wild stage presence, saying he seemed like someone who woke up halfway through a drum fill every morning. Taylor adds that Moon taught him the beauty of unpredictability, the power of letting instinct override convention. Dave nods, saying Moon made drumming dangerous in the most thrilling way, a controlled explosion that shaped rock forever. Their laughter and mimicry fill the studio, recreating moments of pure madness. Dave shifts, bringing up Sheila E., and the energy softens with admiration. He says she carried every stage as if she commanded the universe. Taylor's eyes widen, recalling her hypnotic precision and power. Dave explains that Sheila E. could make rhythm seductive and commanding simultaneously, showing that drums could be both elegant and fierce. Taylor says she taught him that a drummer's personality shines through every beat, and charisma can be as powerful as technique. Phil Collins comes up next, and a quiet reverence descends. Dave says Collins made each drum hit feel cinematic, turning songs into stories with emotional beats. Taylor nods, saying that in the air tonight, Phil felt like the sky splitting open. Dave explains that Collins showed that timing, emotion, and patience could carry more weight than speed. Taylor says he learned that simplicity, when executed with soul, creates unforgettable moments. The conversation turns to Matt Cameron, whose style combines shadows, weight, and sophistication. Dave praises Cameron for his restraint, showing that holding back can create tension that makes every groove resonate deeper. Taylor adds that Cameron taught him the power of subtlety, proving that a drummer doesn't need to dominate every song to leave a lasting mark. Dave says Cameron's beats feel like thunderstorms waiting to break, and Taylor says listening to him feels like a masterclass in dynamics and feel. Their energy spikes again with Chad Smith, a powerhouse of groove. Dave explains that Chad's beats are athletic, funky, and filled with swagger. Taylor laughs, recalling the sheer physicality of his playing. Dave emphasizes that Chad's groove shakes the ground, and Taylor adds that every hit carries personality, confidence, and joy. Their voices overlap as they reminisce about the first time they witnessed these legends live, sharing moments of awe, inspiration, and the thrill of being up close to genius. Dave grows reflective, speaking about fear, doubt, and growth. He says every great drummer has faced nights of insecurity, feeling small against the shadows of their heroes. Taylor nods, admitting that fear often accompanies passion but can become fuel for greatness. Dave explains that the difference between ordinary and legendary musicians is persistence. Taylor adds that loving your craft enough allows fear to become fire, motivating you to reach beyond limitations. The laughter softens as Taylor shares childhood memories of banging on pots and pans, learning rhythm through curiosity. Dave smiles, admitting he did the same, calling those moments the spark of destiny. Taylor says obsession separates dreamers from doers, and Dave agrees, noting that the fire inside young drummers never dies, it evolves, guiding their growth as musicians and humans. Dave reflects on authenticity, the cornerstone of a drummer's legacy. He says the drummers they admire carved history not through imitation but through a true voice. Taylor adds that authenticity gives life to music, shaping generations and leaving a permanent mark. Dave emphasizes that legends remind them to stay hungry, push forward, and never settle. Taylor agrees, saying their influence lives on in every beat played and every stage touched. As they near the end, Dave and Taylor speak of the human side of drumming, the vulnerability, the dedication, and the love for the craft. They share moments of connection with their heroes, the lessons learned, the inspiration taken, and the emotions that have driven them to become the musicians they are. Every story, every laugh, every reflection carries the weight of history and the pulse of passion, creating a cinematic rhythm that immerses viewers. From childhood obsessions to sold-out arenas, every anecdote, reflection, and burst of laughter paints drummers as more than musicians, they are storytellers, poets, architects of emotion. The discussion flows effortlessly between high-energy tales and quiet, reflective moments, echoing the rhythms of a drumbeat itself. By the end, viewers feel transported into a world where the power, soul, and heart of drummers aren't just observed, they are felt, lived, and celebrated.